In this lecture, let me explain the short circuit power dissipation. Short circuit power dissipation occurs when the input changing from 0 to VDD or VDD to 0. Now let me consider an inverter. It is PMOS, it operates with 0. It is NMOS, it operates with 1. When it is going to be converting 0 to 1 and when it is going to be converting 1 to 0, at middle portion both the transistors at some point PMOS as well as NMOS both are turning on. When both are turning on, the circuit is going to be shorted, or a short is going to be, or a path is going to be established from VDD to ground. So because of this short, power dissipation is taking place. Such power dissipation we can call it as short circuit power dissipation. So now let us explain this operation. So here the pull up network plays role by PMOS and pull down network plays by NMOS. Now let us go for the power dissipation. Here this is my input. Of course the output is going to be exactly out of phase. Now the input is ready. The input means this transistor is going to be starts conduct at time t1. Now when it is going to be starts conducting, automatically the power dissipation also start to influence. So it will starts conduct from t1 and the process is going to be ends, means the operation is going to be ends to t3. So when the circuit is going to be in operation, the power dissipation also occurs. Now we shall derive the expression for the current. So because current is not in constant, it is varying. So when it is varying, we are supposed to calculate the mean of the current. The current will be at, means the current at this, means the value at this peak point is nothing but VDD by 2. So when the current is going to be under the saturation mode, the maximum current will flow and it is going to be false later. Now here let me consider that T1, T2, T3. So here it is going to be rise time. So the rise time we used to represent with tau. So integral T1 to T2 instantaneous time, that is I of t dt. Here integral t2 to t3 and the instantaneous time, that is nothing but I of t dt. So here it is going to be the symmetric value is going to be taking place over here also. That is why instead of going for 2 directly, I am going to be multiplying with 2. Here t is nothing but time period. Here if you will see only this portion, it is mirror image to this. So that is why, means it is mirror image to this, means this is going to be this. So both are same. So if I am going to be adding these two, so that is why here again I have 2. So the total value is going to be 4 divided by t and it will continues to 1. But already we know that I of t is equal to beta divided by 2. We have the value. Now here my tau is nothing but the rise time. So here the rise time is going to be linearly. So linearly varying with the time. So here if you will see, my voltage is equal to the instantaneous voltage is equal to VDD divided by rise time at the time. Now I want only T1. So T1 means it is nothing but the start of the operation. So when it will start at threshold voltage. So T is equal to when it will goes that side, V in will become Vt, tau and Vdt. Next, coming to T2. So here the maximum value, that is, it is going to be occurs at VDD divided by 2. So if you are going to be substituting Vt is equal to the VDD divided by 2, you will get T is equal to tau by 2. So I have introduced in this okay, beta, that is I of t value as well as t1 and t2. This is the expression what I got. Now I have considered this as the x, and I have done the differentiation, because instead of dt I have to substitute dx. So I have done the differentiation, I have calculated here. At last I got the expression, that is beta divided by 12 vdd and this value. Now we will discuss the short circuit power dissipation with respect to the input and output voltages. That is nothing but the transfer characteristics. So particularly if you will see here, the PMOS is going to be on and NMOS is going to be off. That is why here we will get a short curve. Next, coming to here, I am going to be considering a condition VDD is less than VT plus VTP. In this case, initially the VDD, it is going to be charges up to VDD, and it is going to be remain same up to this point because PMOS is going to be on. Now, during this period, even though the PMOS is going to be off, since it is already uploaded, the output is already charged up to VDD, it will remains continuous up to this point. So here NMOS is going to be on. When NMOS is going to be on, the value is going to be discharges to 0 and it is goes to the VDD. So here the NMOS is going to be on. So when NMOS is going to be on up to here, even though because of that influence it will move to here, again here the PMOS is going to be on, so it is going to be rise. So here PMOS is on, here NMOS is on. In this particular duration, none of the transistor is going to be in on, which leads to the hysteresis. So the circuit is going to be in operation, but it will go for the hysteresis, which causes for the delay. In this case, we will see the power dissipation with respect to rise time as well as the fall time. So here the value tau is going to be 1 nanosecond. Here it is going to be 5 nanoseconds. So the area occupation for this 9 nanoseconds is high. This is how the power dissipation influence with respect to the rise and fall time. Whereas coming to here, it is the power dissipation influence with respect to the load capacitance. So here the load capacitance is less. When the load capacitance is going to be high, the power dissipation is going to be less. But one and only the drawback here we have is, because of this load capacitance high, the delay may is coming to the existence. So now we can conclude that switching power dissipation depends on the parameters like frequency, rise time and beta as well as the VDD. That is nothing but voltage, supply voltage. So when it is depends upon the beta, directly we can tell that beta is consisting of mobility of electrons, length and width of the transistors. So the physical parameters are also influences the short circuit power dissipation. Thank you.